YUNKJunk!
Listen, you jerk, you're pretty old because Pokemon Red and Blue turned 20, and that's why we're celebrating it here on Listen, You Jerk.
Listen, you jerk. I'm one of those people. Had no idea it was the 20th anniversary. We old.
Welcome to Listen, You Jerk. Usually we do this in black and white and we're talking movies, but we're taking a break from that this week to talk about Pokemon Red and Blue, the thing that changed everyone.
It did.
Our generation, your generation, your parents' generation, all of us were changed when Pokemon or Pocket Monsters made its debut in America. Complete with an anime, complete with a game, complete with a comic book series, complete with adorable plush dolls. This thing took over the freaking world.
It did.
And we're going to talk about it today.
Hell yeah. Everything you said is so true, but more so.
Yes.
Like it literally revolutionized the entire landscape of our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 33 years old. You're a couple years older than that.
36.
I wasn't gonna age you.
Oh.
But yeah. But no, like that was what? So I would have been 20 years ago. I would have been 13 years old when that came out. That
Was it 20 or 25?
You told
I
me.
hope I didn't ruin it.
You told me
it
20
might even
today?
be 30.
I was gonna say it. I feel like I was young.
I think
No,
it was
30. I
30.
would have been 3 years old though. There's no way.
But I feel like okay, it's 25. We're going to say it's 25 years old. We're talking Pokemon.
25 would make sense.
Because, well, Green came out in Japan before Red and Blue in America.
Right.
So whenever Green came out, maybe Dylan can Google that and figure it out over time.
I was about to say fact checker.
But we can keep going anyway. Like, we don't have to let that stop us. We're talking Pokemon.
Right.
So let's start with, the experience of Pokemon, and let's make sure that we're telling the fans. Oh,
Right.
and we got a Google board up today. Dylan is improving every freaking day. He's a genius.
He's a fucking stone cold killer.
He's a genius. So we're looking at a board right now.
I love this.
February 27,
96.
1996.
I was 6 years old. Holy mother effer fricker.
So wait a minute. I saw this on Facebook, and that's why I was thinking. So Red and Green. When did Red and Blue come out? I think that's what I saw. I think Red and Blue came out in 1998, which makes sense for my 25 years.
I hope you're right about this. And we're talking about Pokemon no matter what. I
Yeah.
guarantee this.
Red and... Well, that's still the Japan one. See, in America, this is hot content. Yes. Okay, there it is. This is why we're doing it.
So we are at a 25-year
September
anniversary.
28th, 1998.
We did just pass
Pokemon
that.
Red and Blue came out in the United States.
All right. I'm on board. Well,
Okay.
I was already on board.
Yeah, we're on. I mean, I could talk Pokemon anytime, any place, anywhere, and I feel like it's a kinship
Agreed.
that you have with people who played games at the same time as you. But
1000%. Yeah.
the thing about this is, I'll still fire up a Pokemon.
I have it. I have the emulator on my Switch right now.
Really?
I still play Red on my Switch. Yeah.
You still play Red itself?
Well, actually, I might piss off a couple purists.
Yeah.
I play Yellow.
Yellow, I enjoy quite a bit.
I play Yellow because I like Pikachu falling around. The evolutions were a little bit more realistic to the anime.
But you get all four. You also get all four.
Yes. And then you can
the
eventually
main-
get just like so. Yellow is following Ash's timeline in the anime,
Yeah.
which we didn't get to do in any game other than Yellow.
Yeah. Is he Ash in Yellow?
Yeah.
He's not called Red?
He's Ash. In my opinion, he's Ash in all of them. But the default name on him is Red. In Yellow, it's Ash.
In Yellow, it is Ash.
I
So
believe
it is
so.
Ash.
Someone's gonna tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong, but I'm 99% sure. Yeah.
So Red and Blue, when this thing hit, the first thing you had to do is decide: are you red or are you blue? And I am blue.
I am so red, it's unbelievable.
I was a Pokemon
Charizard
Blue
is the best
boy.
character in the entire anime. He's the best starter in those first threes. I'm always taking it.
Always taking Charizard.
Always. I've never not taken Charizard. Actually, that's a lie. I took Squirrel one time because I was intentionally trying to pick something else on a run through.
Yep.
But I've played the game a million times, and I would say a million minus 5. I've taken Charmander.
And on Blue, on the cover of Blue is Blastoise, right? And I took him.
Right.
I went Blue, and I think
water's useful.
Water is useful. Water is useful, but I think grass was either grass was the best or the worst to take from the beginning. I think it was the best.
So
best making easiest play.
So here's my theory on Venusaur.
Okay.
Or the whole evolution here.
Let's do it.
I think that moving forward, the games have done a good job kind of balancing them. But in those original games, Venusaur got fucking stomped for the first 3-4 gyms. But if you stuck with Venusaur, which you would have to build a good team behind it.
Yeah, Bulbasaur and Ivysaur would get their ass whipped.
But they would get their ass whipped. But if you stuck with it, or if you ground out and got Venusaur to evolve or early or whatever it was, Grass has a terrible time with the gyms to start. But after Brock, nothing going on. And then all of a sudden, it's the strongest thing you can do. It's the only thing that could hurt Ghost, which was the worst gym in my opinion. In
That's a tough gym.
Yeah, that was the worst.
Sad gym too.
Because you can't bring a single normal attack into it.
Mm-hmm.
It misses every time. So you have to go high special attack. Venusaur is perfect for that.
Yep, Solar Beam.
Yeah.
If you've got it by then, you're good to go.
Leech Seed. What the Sunlight one where you power up grass moves.
Oh.
There was that back then they did have the move. I can't remember what it was called.
So this was only
similar to Shining Sun or whatever.
This was only my second RPG. My first RPG was Mario RPG.
Yeah.
And then
Mario 64 or the side scroller.
No, Mario RPG for Super Nintendo.
Okay.
That was my first, and that's where I kind of figured this out. And then that was my first experience with like turn-based battle, and then this solidified it. And it's like, oh, I like RPGs,
right?
But they aren't all like the Mario RPG. This is like a classic, tried and true RPG.
Yeah, this is But that's how I felt about Final Fantasy X a decade later.
Yep.
Turn-based, just straight up official,
just fun.
You just go. You know what's gonna happen. There's no surprises. You just know you
can take your time to select your attack.
Yes, I can figure this out. It's fine. Yeah.
But for a lot of people, Pokemon was the first time of doing this, and the greatest tagline of all time, gotta catch them all.
Have to.
Infected every school, infected every childhood home. You had to now get them all, and you couldn't get them all alone. And if you're like me, this really bothered you. I did not like trading. Because I had so much guilt over choosing red or blue. I knew if I went blue, I did not get Mankey. And that is a hard choice for a young man.
I definitely agree with that.
That loves monkeys.
Also, I don't know if anyone's caught up on the newest Pokemon, but now Mankey has a 4th evolution?
I think 3rd.
Well, it was Mankey, Primeape. Now there's a 3rd one.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like Abominape. Yeah.
Abominape?
Abominape.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And he's like furry. He's tough. He's so big.
Dude, this made me there's so much about this that we could go into and that we could talk about. One thing about it was not just catching it all, but the idea of growing your guys to watch them evolve and change. That blew
it created
my
investment.
Mind.
It created all this like Sphere Grid Final Fantasy X. It created most of the systems that we progress our players in video games.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, let's go through this like intelligently and categorically, because we're going to be veering off in every direction if we don't.
Of course.
So let's start with the fact that this is an RPG. This is a JRPG.
Definitely a JRPG.
Which means Japanese role-playing game. Yeah. This is a turn-based battle, meaning like there's not a timer that runs out. You can put it down. You can come back to it later. It doesn't change anything. And it's all about building the best team from creatures that you find and train to become your team.
Right.
I think Monster Rancher was first. I think on the PlayStation. That was
definitely one of those.
But you didn't have a team.
No, it was 1v1s.
This was you had a team, and you had a team of 6. So not only did you have to catch them all, but a far harder thing for me was, who is my team?
But I mean, Pokemon's similar to that, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Pokemon is the one that did this.
Right. Because I mean, they still to this day have professional Pokemon like battle tournaments.
Yeah.
Like people and to go so far as like, and this is I'm sure we'll talk about like IV ratings in Pokemon and stuff. Like, thanks. Yeah. We good? Mic check. Oh, I lost my train of thought. I'll be honest with you.
You were saying that there was IV ratings, which is something I've never heard about.
Really?
I don't know what an IV rating is.
Okay. All right. So
Like how much IV you
an
have in the
IV
house?
rating in Pokemon is so you can catch let's call it a Mankey.
Yep.
We're talking about. All right. We're in blue. Catch a Mankey. That Pokemon has a random like kind of assortment of IV ratings, which are base stats.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get an IV rating of an A, or you can get an IV rating of a D.
That's
So-
a new thing, though.
No.
That
It
was in Red and Blue?
It was a secret stat in Red and Blue, but now people have figured it out. Yeah, Google that motherfucker.
What?
I swear to God. Yeah, IVs have been since the start of you can catch 2 different Mankeys, and one once you actually like at the beginning you're not going to tell the difference. They start at 3, they start at 5, like whatever.
Yeah.
But once you catch them and put investments into them, the potential of each of those Pokemon is very different.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that I learned. I didn't learn it quite at Red, but I learned it quickly after that first gen.
Yeah.
And that was a thing. Pokemon Go actually made that like a huge thing that people paid attention to.
Interesting.
Because Pokemon Go let you know what those IVs were.
Yeah.
But then if you go back into all the Pokemon, the IVs are, drastically different. Drastically. I can catch 2 Pokemon at the same level and they could be completely different Pokemon.
I did not know that ever.
Yeah, big thing. It's huge in the Switch games now. But back in the day, it was it was one of those like invisible stats that like existed, but nobody really knew about it.
And that goes to like this was the first like dense content for a lot of people to experience.
Dude, they gave us 3 storylines on the same game.
Yep.
And we have done that before or since.
And we had 150 Pokemon to catch that we knew about.
Yeah.
And then they introduced the fact that there is a 151st. And they introduced it in the game. So it's like a secret that's in there. And it just, this game like captured the mind. Like that gotta catch them all. That was hypnotic because it sparked the completionist in all of us. And this is also in the 90s. This is a Game Boy game
That was
on the
the
90s.
beginning
You always have
I
it
love
with
that you
you.
said that. I love it.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of me being a completionist. Because I did like we said, I chose Red.
Yep.
In Red, I did complete the Pokedex.
As did I in Blue.
Right. But now, and then I'm 33 goddamn years old, and I'm playing all these fucking deep ass games. I'm playing Starfield. I'm playing the Harry Potter Legacy, and I'm like, okay, there's a shit ton of quests in here, but I am gonna finish it.
Yeah.
That has been from.
You've held on to completionism. I had to get rid of it.
Still am.
Because I lost.
They're too big. But,
it's all too big.
But I also I got no girl at me. I will literally sit there for however many fucking hours, and I will just grind through it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, honestly, I think it's a good thing personally. I'm distracted. I'm not going to the bar too much.
Yeah.
I played a game all day. There are worse things than that.
That's true. Well,
My completion has never left.
So mine did for specific things. Like if there's a cool ending, I might go through it to see the cool ending. If there's an amazing power up, I might go through it to this. But this didn't really have that. It just had feeling like you completed it. Yeah. And for some reason that meant
no side
so
quest,
much
no
to
nothing.
me.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's why I think Red and Blue is the best version of Pokemon ever. It was small. Now it's huge. But Red and Blue was just enough to want to complete it.
You're talking about in the grand scheme of the world.
In the grand scheme of the thing, in completion, all you had to do was find one person out there that had the other cartridge, and then you used a link cable, kids, to go between 2 big old gray Game Boys and trade Pokemon, and that was how you completed it. So you just found someone in your group. For me, it was Adam Coswick. He had Red, I had Blue.
Right.
We were able to trade. The problem in my group is a bunch of people got Blue. And it's like, guys, we needed to talk about this. But then you had the true Poke nerds come out, which is kind of where I want to go next.
Okay.
Poke nerds took this to the nth degree, and I love them for it. Poke nerds had all of them. They had Red, they had Blue. They found a Japanese version of green. They had yellow. They got leaf green when it was re-released on DS. Gold and silver, obviously. They went pearl. But the Poke Nerd thing was definitely a schism in the world of video games. You could tell who was deep down the rabbit hole of Pokemon and who was on the periph because it was the new hotness. I went down the hole.
I also went down the hole.
Yeah.
So I was
the pokey hole.
The pokey hole. Yep. the pokey hole. I was in a position, fortunately enough, where I got to be fully invested in Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I also had a brother, like an Irish twin. Like he was 18 months younger than me.
Yeah.
Close enough. Not quite an Irish twin, but close enough. So
That's
every
a
time,
year and a half.
right? So every time we did, So every time we did Pokemon, it was just I'll get red, you get blue.
Yep.
And
exactly.
then we could trade. That was money. But in terms of what you're saying, in my experience, I would attribute that to the card game part of it, which is another huge
forgot
aspect.
about that whole element.
Yeah. So I was the guy in the back corner of the playground, like everyone's like playing basketball and like fighting each other. I mean, granted, I would get in fights, don't worry. But
over Pokemon.
happened 3 separate times. I swear to God. Someone tried to steal my Charizard.
Can't steal a man's Charizard.
If you steal a Charizard, you're a special type of asshole. That's all I'm saying. But for me and my brothers, we would get the games and then we would just do the trading we needed to do. We would, like it's like, hey, like I got 2 Vulpixes, you got 2 Growlithe. Like let's trade one. Easy.
Of course.
I never had a problem evolving Kadabra.
That one is the one
Kadabra
that killed
and
me.
Kadabra to Gengar and
nope, Kadabra to Alakazam.
Kadabra to Alakazam and then Haunter to Gengar.
Yeah.
Those are the 2. Never had a problem with that.
Very interesting, too. So Abra and Kadabra were in blue, right? And Ghastly and Haunter were in red. Look at how quickly I'm remembering this.
Yeah,
that's what's so amazing about this. This is the obsession that we had.
That's the coolest part. They built this world that we like genuinely cared about.
Yes.
Like they like you could do Digimon, you can do all these different things. Like it's been replicated, but it's never been fully cloned.
And I think you just nailed it is why. And I totally forgot about that. It wasn't just red and blue. It's I mentioned the companion pieces. I didn't say the cards.
The cards matter.
Well,
dude.
the cards
it's a whole
changed
world.
America.
Yeah.
Because the Pokemon cards,
it had a financial value. That
Pokemon
matters.
cards destroyed baseball cards and football cards and Magic cards.
They literally don't. Magic
not forever. I'm not saying forever. I'm saying in 1998.
We're talking about Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I think that was slightly after Pokemon. But
no, Magic was before.
Was it?
For sure.
No shit.
But for sure. But it got and there were like X-Men cards.
Just changed my thought process.
There was Star
on my
Wars
childhood.
cards. All that shit got devastated when Pokemon cards came out.
Yeah, because that's all
and
people
they
care
had
about.
their time, but then Pokemon cards went away, and then the other ones came back, and now they're back again in a big bad way.
Dude, Logan Paul, in all his fucking douchebaggery, wears a holographic first edition Charizard on his neck.
Yep.
That's
the coolest thing there is.
You know what that means though? That means that all of us that sorry microphone. That means all of us that truly loved Pokemon are now have money and are able to buy these things. And now baseball cards was back in our parents' age. That was the thing. Mm-hmm. You like baseball, America's team. America's sport, whatever.
Go Phils.
Go Phils. Go fucking Phils. They're closing out today. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Go Phillies.
Point is,
Phillies.
Pokemon cards was a big part of why the game was so big, because if you weren't obsessing over the Game Boy game like I was, you were obsessing over the cards.
I was doing,
and
both.
There was a split.
Yeah.
Well, yes, there were the people who did both. I didn't care for the card game, but the collecting was fun. But collecting.
Yes.
The
I didn't
want and need to collect came from the game.
I didn't battle with my cards.
Right.
I had a binder with those little sheets where you just slip
binder,
a card.
baby.
Yeah. Just slip those cards in there. I still to this day. And I'm sorry, Mom, but I'm gonna talk shit on you right now. I literally called her one day. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, like, where's my Pokemon binder? I know you didn't let that leave the house because you were like, no, all the kid stuff stays at home. Motherfucking things in the trash. Oh my God, I had so many hollers.
I don't know where mine is either. Mine might be at my sister's house.
Lisa Osborne, I love you to death, but fuck, man. That's how I feel about that. Continue.
So the cards was another thing that captured, and I'd like to now shift to the third thing that really captured this for me. That was the anime.
Oh my God.
And the manga, there's a manga too that I think eventually I am going to read, but the anime.
The manga's like toe to toe with the anime.
The anime changed everything, because I have never, ever had an experience like that where the main character was doing the same thing that I was doing. The main character was not a Pokemon. He was a Pokemon collector. What am I? A Pokemon collector. And we both want to be masters.
Right.
And we're doing it side by side. And those mother flubbers at Nintendo, and I think at 4Kids Entertainment, and later the Pokemon Company, made you cry over how deep the drama was in the show. I know that's crazy to say, but you are not human if you don't lose it when Butterfree gets zapped.
Yep, 100%.
And when Butterfree leaves.
Yep. He's just like, fuck it.
I just thought of it and I'm tearing up right now.
Right.
He leaves. Like, he lets him go, man. Dude, he lets him go, and eventually he comes back.
And he does that, but that, I don't want to get too deep.
No, we can, but
I don't want to get getting into like that. That's I've always said Pokemon like also touches on like conundrums that we face in terms of human beings, like whether we're young and we don't know how to interact or like whatever the fuck it is. That is a awesome metaphor for, hey, like sometimes you have to let something go and then it'll come back to you.
Yeah.
And that happened.
And there's also parts where he's just like trying his best, but doesn't know that the thing, like it happens with Metapod. Like he can't, it's the same friggin' thing. Doesn't know what to do. And there's times in the game you didn't know what to do.
He's like, I don't know what to do.
Like it's just wild how much they made me care from my heart. The game is more funny and classic JRPG.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, there's no heartstrings in the game really, because you're set in a single quest and it's just battling people.
And you don't lose. You either lose or you turn the game off.
Yeah, and you have a rival, but it's not like the rival in the anime.
No.
Gary's a dick.
No, he shows up at the worst time.
Yeah.
Like he'd show up like Ash would have just gotten out of a battle and then fucking he'd be like, what's up? Like now let's fight. Yeah. Here's my Pidgeotto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was, Professor Oak's nephew, so that sucked already. But there's God, we're jumping all over. Let's stay on the anime and then we'll come back to an important choice. In the anime, they decide for some reason that Pikachu is the star of the show. This came from the manga and the anime, not from the games.
Right.
Because the games, it's the three at the start. Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Charmander.
Yellow was the throwback to the
anime.
To the anime. Yeah.
The release of Yellow was brilliant.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stay on Red and Blue. So in that anime, you're following Ash, and Ash goes around trying to collect different Pokemon, catch them. I don't know why I keep saying collect. Got to collect them all.
No, you got to collect them all.
True. You got to collect them all.
Catch them, but you're collecting them.
Yeah. But you have these magical tools, these Pokeballs, and you throw them, and they hit, things, and then they warp them in. And what the anime did is it took the things that were in the Game Boy and ramped it up to 10 because you saw cool animation around it, like evolving in the anime.
Even
is amazing.
Even the early stages when like you do a tail whip and then the character just goes.
Yep.
It's not. There's no animation. They're just sliding the picture around. But that in and of itself, it was like that was a pioneer of a type of, let's call it graphic.
Yeah,
but, that they started that.
Well, this was a perfect hybrid.
Right.
Watch the opening of the anime. It starts as the Game Boy game.
Yeah,
and then it changes into this amazing anime thing. It was it's my first experience with anime. I think
for most of us,
it was. And the thing about anime is that there's drama in there. It really makes you care. The relationships matter to you. And he's this guy going out and having relationships, and he meets, this Pikachu thing that saves his life. They become best buddies. They've stayed best buddy. I think his anime just wrapped up.
Yep.
Or is about to wrap up. Like Ash's journey is finally over.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but I really didn't like it. Hurt my feelings.
Great.
Hurt my fucking feelings.
But this is also why just stay with Red and Blue. If you just follow it through Red and Blue, you get a movie.
It was incredible.
Yes.
I do not want to. Red and Blue were incredible, but I'm saying on the thing that just ended, I want to be very clear. It was incredible, but I felt offended. Like, God damn it! Like, this is how it had to end. Are you kidding me?
Did he meet his dad?
I'm not giving.
Okay,
I'm
not
giving any.
I'll watch the whole damn thing.
I'm actually the person that gives out spoilers on this podcast, but I'm not fucking doing it on this one.
So that's the other thing. Is
the end of Ash. In terms of as a prominent character,
as a protagonist,
that is something everyone should watch, in my opinion.
So the other thing the anime did is it left you hints and clues about what you haven't experienced yet in the game, but might.
Yeah.
For example, there's so many mystery boxes in this thing. The first episode of the anime features a Pokemon from the sequel game, not the original game. That's insane.
Oh, that's so true.
The first episode has Ho-Oh.
Oh my God,
Think about
that's
that.
absolutely right.
There's no way I'm not going to catch them all because I have to see that that's not in it
Right.
and to get excited for the next game.
Dude, that's such a good marketing scheme. Good job, Nintendo. You literally spend your entire fucking life collecting everything, and then when you get them, here's another one you didn't get.
Exactly.
Play the next game.
Exactly.
That is genius.
Yes.
That's genius. Oh my God.
So the thing about this game, I mean, so the anime tie-in, if you were lucky enough to experience Pokemon in this time where you had the anime, the card game, and the video game,
Dude,
before it got too complicated.
I swear that in the video game era, we are in the luckiest era of all time. We watched it grow from shit to incredible stuff. We play, the Xbox Series X. We play the PS5, but like we also played on
Game Boy.
Game Boy Advance, Game Boy
Original.
Yeah, like the OG, like not even
green
the flip
screen,
one.
bro.
Yeah. Like mine was a navy blue one. Almost,
you had
almost
a pocket?
purple. I had almost the purple. Well, no,
and then
no,
the
no.
color came out.
Well, so the shell on the OG Game Boy was gray, right? I had the one after that. So I don't know if it was color or if it was GB.
No,
is there a GB too?
There was Game Boy. There was Game Boy Pocket. I think there was like a Game Boy, I think it was Game Boy Color before Color. It was just colored Game Boys.
Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and then that's when we started hitting like the PSP area.
Well, that's where we got SP.
Yeah.
The Game Boy Advance SP was awesome.
That flip phone.
Yes. That was the best.
And you could still rock blue and red on there. Oh my God.
Super Game Boy was great for this game.
I never got.
You play it on Super
had
Nintendo, and it had color.
You know what? Actually, I would say 60% of my time playing Pokemon was on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
Whichever version. 40% of it on the Nintendo 64, and I would stick the game cartridge in the emulator, and I would play my Pokemon game on my Nintendo 64 on my TV through Pokemon Stadium.
Whoa!
If you didn't know that, you missed out. You got a cartridge adapter, so like it could be DK, it could be whatever. Stick your Pokemon in there, fire up Pokemon Stadium, and you can go play Pokemon Stadium with your current team in your Game Boy.
And you're bringing up the next piece, which is Pokemon the franchise.
Oh, it's incredible.
The video game franchise specifically.
They're still going. I just bought one.
But what I'm talking about is Pokemon was so big that it wasn't just the JRPG game anymore.
No.
And
it was a cultural
N64 was already here. So it was Game Boy and N64 doing Pokemon, which meant Pokemon Stadium comes out.
Dude, Pokemon Stadium is back on the Switch like emulator thing they have at the end. Dude, it still holds up.
Changed the game.
Pokemon Snap?
That was the other one.
Yeah.
So think about this. We're so obsessed with this. We're obsessed with the idea of Pokemon that we're getting everything Pokemon, even if it's not the JRPG game. I don't understand how they pulled this off. It is the greatest full court press of any sort of media I've ever seen in my life.
I personally believe, again, I'm sure there'll be other people out there that disagree, but for me, that first round of Red and Blue showed, like we were talking about the collection aspect, like people were dead set on collecting. They were dead set on finishing, completing it.
Yes.
I think that was truly the first time, because everything else was side-scroller. Yeah, there were hidden rooms and shit in Mario, like whatever. But when it comes down to the evolution of video games, side quests, completionism, that all came from Pokemon. Because not necessarily were there side quests to do.
Well, extra stuff.
But it was, hey, if I want to complete my Pokedex, I have to go do this. I have to go, surf the edge of Cinnabar Island and find this shit.
This only works if everything is great.
Dude,
and everything was great.
They put a Pokemon in the Pokedex that you could only get through a glitch.
Missing No?
Well, Missing No got you Mew.
Yeah.
But no,
Mew is part of the story, though.
Right.
And
but you couldn't catch her. You had to glitch the game.
Right.
Which to me is insane.
And the story itself makes you obsess over this thing. Because Mew, we talk about in the anime,
which is
we
beautiful.
see once.
That's writers. That's not programming. That's
in
writing.
The intro little animation, like the song.
Yeah.
It's in there, and it's just like, what was that? I need to find that. So I'm going to tease you in the game by
Right.
giving you Mew.
And then guess
2.
what? We're gonna drop a movie on it.
Yep.
We're gonna drop a movie right now.
Yep.
Also, so like now that you're all talking about all these glitches, you can get all these cool Pokemon. Now he's in the thing.
But what else? Pikachu becomes an icon, and they put him in Smash Bros. That was a game
Also
changer
huge.
for me.
Dude, Pikachu.
Because then it's like, oh shit, we have a rival to Mario. Just showed up.
Yeah, I would say Pikachu's a bigger favorite than Mario, current day.
Maybe not anymore. Not with the movie that just came out. But during for us, absolutely, and for a long,
God
long
damn
time.
you, Chris Pratt.
I love you, Chris
I
Pratt,
fucking love you, Chris Pratt. But
doing the
goddamn you.
Lord's work. But think about that. They introduced that we have another. They introduced their Donald Duck.
Yeah,
You know,
for
if
sure.
Mario's your Mickey Mouse, they just introduced your Donald Duck.
I agree with that.
At
Kirby
times
guy.
overtaking.
Can we get Kirby out there? Anybody?
Well, let's talk about that.
Anybody listening?
Can we talk about who made this game? Hall Laboratories, right?
Yep, absolutely.
From Kirby fame.
Same deal. Literally repackaged
/ Game Freak.
Game.
And then later
definitely
Game Freak became the Pokemon Company. Is that right?
Game Freak, I think got bought by Niantic. I want to say because that's when Pokemon Go happened.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think Niantic bought them and then created the Pokemon Go mobile game.
Yeah, the Pokemon. I mean, this is also think about how big this is. It's owned by Nintendo, but they had to start a whole other company that's just the Pokemon Company.
Yeah.
Why? Because everything hit. Clothes hit. Stuffed animals hit. Manga hits. Anime
Everything.
hits.
Dude,
Movies
they had Beanie
hit.
Babies running around like that.
They're in the friggin' Macy's Day Parade. Video games. It's crazy that all of this came from a game, though.
Dude,
It started with a game.
I was 26 years old.
Yeah.
Arguably, maybe not how I dealt with things, but arguably that's when you're maturing at that point.
Sure.
I'm in a bar when Pokemon Go drops, and I'm literally with 10 of my friends, male and female. We're all sitting at a bar drinking, and then all of a sudden, someone will be like, "There's a Gyarados down the street." Half the bar leaves. Like that Pokemon Go was a movement too.
Go was way later.
Way
and it
later.
showed the strength. Actually,
But
Go
that's what
was the
I'm saying.
revitalization.
That I would say that's what started it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly, but this is just a masterpiece of marketing material. It's
Marketing.
This is a master class in getting people excited.
Yeah.
You have to make us care, and I've never seen something make me care as much as that anime did, as much as that card game did, as much as that game did, and as much as Nintendo did by starting to say, we've got another superstar on our hands. Let's put him in everything and make stuff around this. I've never seen it.
That's something Nintendo's always done pretty well, though.
Yeah.
What if it wants to be Smash Brothers or Mario Party or whatever? Like they've always maintained that universe of Nintendo. Like Nintendo is never like you get the individual games, but Nintendo has never been okay. I'm playing a Kirby game. Now I'm playing a Pokemon game. Now I'm playing this. It's like, no, like this is all in the same universe because they have those games that tie it all together.
Yeah, there's a
And I think
sandbox here.
that is something.
Toy box.
Yes.
Master
exactly.
Hand.
Exactly.
Bunk.
I love it. But no, that was that's something that I'm not gonna say Nintendo's better than Xbox or PlayStation.
I am.
Content wise, yes, I agree. But I don't know.
I wouldn't necessarily. Well, I would say content, but I'm biased. I would say imagination, dreaming,
yes.
and
The problem with PlayStation and Xbox is that they can pull off the more adult games.
they are more powerful performing computers. But the imagination, the dream, the Disney of it, let's say, is there. I mean, it's basically like a Nintendo is Apple is Disney. In that they care about one specific thing, and they are technically but my point is sometimes they are less powerful than the new hotness or the thing that's out there or the computers behind them. But there's something special about it, and this is a perfect example. It wasn't
Definitely agree.
It wasn't. This was an 8-bit Game Boy game that captured the world. So this is a perfect example of you don't need a PlayStation. You need this little square right here. And that's the magic of Nintendo and why I'm such a huge fan of them to this very day of like, I push I want to see imagination. Push whimsy. Show me something beautiful. Don't just show me something cool.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a. You are more of a positive human being. I'm a little bit more of a negative human being.
It's true.
It is true, viewers. But so I do want a little bit of darkness in my video game, just a tiny bit, which is why I'm, and not to get off topic, that's why I'm loving Legend of Zelda right now.
Yep.
Because it's got that whimsical kind of like, floral haha Nintendo thing, but it's also like pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up.
But here's the thing about Pokemon and JRPGs as a whole. There's also darkness in them.
Exactly.
The story itself, having 151 characters, lends itself to say, here's our super cuties that all the girls are going to love.
Right. Now you got to get the ugly ones.
Here's the goth kid.
Have fun with, what the fuck was his name? The little cubic.
Cubone.
No, not that guy. I love Cubone. Cubone's a cute one. I'm talking about Porygon. That motherfucker.
Porygon, the digital.
You tell me I gotta
Pokemon.
go. You got tell me I gotta go gamble to get.
You gotta go to Celadon City, bro.
I gotta go gamble to get 151 Pokemon. I was like,
yes, you have to do everything.
And now I gamble on sports all day, so I actually blame Game Freak. Y'all made a gambler out of a lot of people.
You probably did. You probably ruined a lot of folks out there with this idea of, life will never be complete.
Gotta go play slots for 6 hours before I can get Porygon. And then they made Porygon 2. I was like, that's just offensive.
But here's the thing. There's something in that game for everyone, including goth kids, dark boys.
100%.
Because when you
Every city was for a different subgroup of people.
If you want to talk about dark, read the damn Pokedex. Cubone walks around, is essentially a Charmander. He's some sort of lizard whose mother died. So he wears her helmet, her skull,
not
as
helmet,
a helmet.
her skull.
And he's eternally sad.
And using her femur for a weapon.
And you know what he evolves into? A sadder version of himself.
Well, he evolves into his mother.
What?
Marowak is the mother of
Marowak
Cubone.
also has a helmet, though.
Yeah, but that's the evolution of Cubone. And then Marowak is like when you go into here we go. If you go into the ghost tower, when you get to the top, and Marowak runs away, and then you fight the ghost Cubone.
That's so very sad.
Yeah, like Cubone evolves into his mother.
Yeah, right off the bat, by the way, there's bad Pokemon.
100%.
There's scary Pokemon.
Fuck Meowth.
But there's scary.
I've worked for 1,000,000 Meowths in my lifetime. Fuck that. I hate that guy. Continue. I'm sorry.
He can talk.
Yeah. Also, that's bullshit.
We didn't even talk about Team Rocket yet.
Team Rocket kissed my ass too.
It's true.
Yeah.
Dude, it just I'm viscerally sad and upset and angry and happy all because of this game and the memories that I have of it. There's the thing where Ash goes to the scary lighthouse and he looks out and there's an enormous Dragonite. And I didn't know there were dragons in this game, but the anime told me that, and then I had a mission to get it. And you don't get it the way you would think.
Pokemon to evolve, like empirically.
You have to get Dratini, who is in the.
It's hard to catch Dratini.
What's that area called? Something zone.
The Safari Zone.
Safari Zone.
So you have to catch Dratini there, and then Dratini doesn't evolve into Dragonair until 36.
Yep.
Which is usually the final evolution for most Pokemon.
And then you need a special stone.
Like 50. No. Dragonite was like 50 something.
Dragonite was I thought you needed a stone.
No. Dragonite was like a level 52 evolve or something.
Yes.
The stones were money, and so when I start with the stones, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll evolve them right now, done. But something they snuck in and didn't tell us was, hey, you can do that, but like your stats are gonna suck. Like you should really take a Growlithe and level them until. That was another thing. Do you not know that?
Didn't know that.
Okay, so if you Growlithe needs a Firestone to evolve, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then you get.
So does Vulpix needs one for Ninetales.
The two fire dogs, red and blue, one of them was each. Both of them need a Firestone to evolve. If I took a Vulpix at level 12 and hit it with a Firestone, it would evolve, but they don't learn any moves other than that, and the stats stop growing as hard as they do. If I grow a Vulpix to level 45 and then hit it with Firestone, that Arcanine's way fucking strong, or Ninetales is way fucking stronger. way stronger.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's what I'm saying. There
But
was
that's the competitive world of Pokemon.
But there were so many things in the red and blue which they didn't tell us were a thing, which they did eventually tell us. But that right there shows so much foresight.
Yeah.
Like you were able to create this world that you didn't even tell us the rules to until Gen 3.
Well, that and the anime was teaching you the rules. The card game was teaching you the rules.
Right, but
things were teaching you the rules.
Those are feelings. But there were general like coding rules in this game. Like there were things that like it would like if like I said, if I level someone up, once you get a stone, you don't level.
Well, I bet that was
really
because of the competitive nature and the fact that you could. We talked about trading. You could fight as well.
Well, I was in,
and I think that's why there was these secret stats, because there had to be a way of evening out fights if you both were level 9s or whatever.
Right, and that is well, but so yes, that is exactly why they did that. I have done some hit or miss professional like actual like battles. I have a friend that he was ranked for a while.
Wow,
Chad Riley, hell yeah. He was ranked for a while, but that is true. Like you could mirror match somebody, but you could absolutely destroy them if you were able to catch the thing I was talking about before, IVs. That's what matters. But that existed from day one in Pokemon Red. That wasn't a thing in the professional circuit.
Wild.
That wasn't a thing in the professional circuit until Gen 3, roughly. I mean, you knew that if you did professional red and blue, you knew that some Pokemon were stronger than others. It could be the same level, same move set. You knew that they were going to be stronger. Didn't exactly know why. Gen 3, I believe, is when everybody started being like, okay, I got this guy, but his stats are too low. Like when they started doing that like grid sphere thing, like with the percentages and all that, that's when people were able to like figure it out. But that's been a thing since day fucking one.
Wow.
Day one, you could catch 2 Jigglypuffs and they'd be the polar opposites of skill.
2 Jigglies.
You catch 2 Jigglies in a row. One is a D- and one's an A+.
Wow.
Straight fucking RNG random.
Jigglypuff, the Donald Duck to Pikachu's Mickey Mouse in the Pokemon franchise. Later became this giant thing.
Yeah, and Clefairy, but more Jiggly.
That's true. I mean, it's just crazy. And now that it's the memification of it, it's back with you. But this meant so much to us.
I like that you said memification. Yeah. Now it's Pokemon everywhere if we want it to be. Yep. But when we were kids, dude, it was like, hey, like we went into school and we were waiting to talk to somebody about our Pokemon cards, about our Pokemon game. Like it wasn't, I couldn't go on the internet and look and be like, okay, Pokemon content, I can just go about my day now.
It's true.
It was like I sprinted into school and I was like, guys, look what I traded to my neighbor yesterday.
Yeah.
Like that type
because you didn't know. I mean, that was another great thing about Red and Blue. You didn't know.
No idea.
You had to get the player's guide. Yeah. But even the player's guide left out Mew.
Exactly.
There were things that left out.
Right.
And it was just the coolest thing. The last thing I kind of want to talk about is this game made you deal with choice. And for a lot of kids, you never had to. Most of us were semi-spoiled when it came to video games. Like by ourselves, we could do everything.
Right.
Now you can't.
Right.
And in the game,
you have to make a decision. You don't get something when you make the decision.
And that decision starts in the beginning of the freaking game.
Yeah.
Because
pick one. You'll never see the other two ever again.
Exactly.
Unless you're fighting them. Unless you're fighting.
You're never, ever going to get the other two by yourself again. And really, the only way to get them.
3 playthroughs. I played 3 times with all 3 different ones just because when that first came out, that was the tits.
But when you had to figure out, how do I even trade for these? Because how do you on one cartridge have all 3 of those? It's almost impossible because all your friends playing the game love their first Pokemon the most.
Right.
And you have to convince them to get rid of them forever. Now, I know the cheat. Start the game on another cartridge 3 times, take them over. And that actually does sound like a fun way to play.
Not even that.
Because you could trade them all right in the beginning and play the whole game.
I was going to say, you could just do the run through 3 times and trade out 3 different players and then just back up. I mean, you'd have to get to... What's that town?
Honestly,
Cerulean Pre-Gym.
I want to play this game again, and I just want to start with the 3 regular Pokemon and just play with just those 3.
Well, you'd have to play yellow for that.
No, I'm saying from the beginning. I'm saying
so. You're saying
start 2
someone
games,
else starts 2 different games.
Trade me
Dude, honestly,
Trade
though,
one, trade
honestly,
two, and
Charizard,
then
Venusaur,
play.
Blastoise,
That's the game.
they kind of beat everybody up, except for
Yeah,
Ghosts.
they do.
Ghosts, they have a problem with.
They do. But
Although
even
Blastoise and Venusaur can handle it. So can Charizard. I'm out of my mind.
choice.
Yeah, but three of those together could do it.
There's another choice. Eevee.
Okay, so I actually spent, I would say, 10% of my red playthrough just jacking up a bunch of Eevees and then hitting them with all their stones. There was a
How
point.
did you get more than one Eevee? That's another choice one.
So you get the free one.
Yep.
But then you can.
Yeah, you're cheating.
I was gonna say, are we talking glitches? Because
we ain't talking no glitches.
I clone glitched Eevee. I'm gonna be.
I didn't even know there
that.
was a clone.
You can clone anything with missing no. It's Cinnabar.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's how you get Mew, but you can also clone any Pokemon there. They'll stay in your party and be in the box, from what I remember.
So, I do remember that.
Yeah, because you have to turn it off to do it.
Eevee, you have to choose.
Yeah,
the exact same choice. Am I gonna have? Well, except it's electric instead of green. Am I gonna have a water type? Am I gonna have a fire type? Am I gonna have an electric type?
Which is, I always took Jolteon, unless I played yellow.
I took Jolteon too.
Jolteon, in red and blue, it was very difficult to get a very strong electric unless you jacked up a Pikachu, which was really hard to get in red and blue. Yellow, they were more prevalent.
And we freaked out, the gamers who made that.
Zapdos. It didn't.
That's where I was gonna go next.
Up until Zapdos, it didn't. And then they do the elementals. Yeah, and then they go back to the birds, and it's just like you have to pick that too.
But before any of that, they say, "Oh, you're having fun with this. Oh, you're psyched that you got Pikachu and whatnot." By the way, there's 3 legendary ones.
Yeah.
What the fuck does legendary mean?
Means
I need to have it if it's legendary.
They're better than a level 5 Pikachu I got.
They are. And when you encounter them, they're full sprites and they're hidden in different places.
Yeah.
And
3 different mountains, all level 50.
It's also the first time in that game where if you did not grind a little, they're going to light you up.
Yeah. And
that makes me feel great.
I love that. I don't know if you have played the newer ones. So like in the newer ones, you can catch Pokemon at level like 52, 56. Like if you go into obviously you have to be powered up to do it, but you can go into those areas and find all those high level Pokemon. In red and blue, you didn't find anything over 30.
Nope.
And that was at the very end of the game. Nothing over 30, 31.
Yep.
And then you go hit those legendary birds and they're like 50 plus.
And there's a final legendary. There's the myth of Mewtwo.
Yes.
This is one of the greatest post-game things ever.
Yeah.
Because you have to beat the game first.
And then do it again.
And then there's this cat you can find.
Yeah.
And he's chilling. And if you used the Master Ball on a Snorlax like I did.
Ew, dude.
I didn't know. That's the thing about the game. You don't know.
That is the thing about the game. Yeah.
And this is back in the day when, you couldn't just get another one. No, this is the one.
No, you get one.
The one. And you
one
don't
guaranteed catch.
And you don't know that it's the only one.
Yeah.
And so you waste it on a Snorlax. And then you get to Mewtwo.
I'm actually sick to my stomach for you right now.
And then you get to Mewtwo and you can't catch it.
Oh my God. Because you cannot catch him without a Master Ball.
Correct.
I don't think I've ever seen.
I think you can do it with a Great Ball, but it's really, really hard. Ultra Ball, not
I was going to say
Ball.
Ultra Ball. I was going to say, I don't know if I'm sure it exists out there, but I've never seen it on video or in person.
Yeah. But it ruined my life. And I had to start it again.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to be honest with you.
But I was happy to do it.
I'm bringing up in the group later that you threw a Master Ball at Snorlax.
I did.
Do that. I want to bring that up.
That is a fantastic thing. Because I felt this Pokemon Red and Blue made you feel making choices for the first time that matter.
Invested. It mattered. You
make mistakes that hurt.
And matter. And you made that mistake later. You're like, fuck, I really should have gone after this Pokemon. I really should have put money into this guy.
And by the way, we're in the realm of you can't just push start and hit save.
Nope.
We're in the realm of you have to save at a specific place. And
well, no, Pokemon Red and Blue you could save.
No, you couldn't. You had to go and check in at with the nurse.
Was that one of the edits they gave up? Was that one of the edits they gave up? Because I know from the majority of Pokemon, it's you can hit start and go down like past the option section, like on your start bar. But now I'm thinking maybe
I'm pretty sure in this one you had to log into the computer.
That's interesting.
And save your game.
Well, not log in.
I hope I'm not wrong.
I hope you are wrong.
That would suck. But anyway, my point is I might be wrong. It might be you have to be out on the main map screen or something like that. You get a bike? I don't know why I'm saying that right now, but
Yeah,
I
you have
just
to get
wanted
the
to get
bike
it in.
voucher though.
But what happened to me is I was on my way to get Zapdos, and I was excited. And I hadn't saved in a long time.
I don't even want to hear this right now.
And an electrode
Dude, it's
rolls
the
in.
worst feel. Yeah, and they
And an
self-destruct and kill you.
electrode,
Yeah,
an electrode has a move that I had not seen in any game whatsoever because I hadn't played JRPGs. It has a move where it kills itself
and
kills
definitely
you
kills
too.
you. Yeah.
And if you don't swap, if it's your last Pokemon, like it was mine,
Well, that's your fault for
and you
going
didn't
in.
save.
That's your fault for going into the electric factory with one Pokemon.
But what happened? I learned my lesson, and I saved for the rest of my life thanks to Pokemon.
Well, I'll also never understand why people rocked with less than 6 Pokemon. Like, why wouldn't, like, if you have 6 slots, why would you not?
Oh, I had it all filled, but
It
what
was
I did
dead.
is I had, my boy, I think his Wartortle by the time you get there, was strong.
Well, that's the other thing. You're supposed to go
But
get Zapdos
everybody
at
else-
the end, not when you first find the
I
electric
went for him
factory.
when I found it.
Yeah, no.
But once you, the way that I was playing Pokemon back in the day, that I still kind of play this way. I picked up like Sword and Shield and was playing this way. I got one strong
Do you
guy,
have Sword
and
and
everyone
Shield?
else is weak. Yep,
What do you have sword or shield?
I think I have Shield. No, I think I have Sword.
I hope you have sword. I've got shield. We
We're
we
doing
could
this.
trade.
We're doing this. Let's do a Let's Play. Let's do a Let's Play.
Let's do a let's play.
Okay, Ozzy and I are starting a Let's Play channel. Derek, you're invited too.
Derek,
But we're
let's
going to
go.
start doing Let's Plays.
Yeah,
And it'll be on the other set.
my brother's got sword also. He can get on there too.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bruh.
All
It'll
right.
push us.
We're
And
doing
we'll
a
be
let's
better
play.
podcasters. We're going to be live streamers, bros.
Fuck it. We're doing it live.
It'll be edited, but it will be a Let's Play.
Right.
So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'm being happier about this because I'm thinking about Pokemon. Pokemon meant so much. Listen, you jerk. Pokemon meant everything to me, and I'm glad that it did.
Listen, you jerk. I can't imagine that anyone would have something bad to say about Pokemon, but if you do, you're a jerk.
And now Dylan's going to put the poker wrap up for us as we go out.
YUNKJunk!